What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Welcome to your stimulus check update, stimulus package, and infrastructure update and daily news report. So yes, the Senate passed the bill again. It's true, it passed again, and I'll address that more in a minute. We're also going to talk about higher wages. I want to address the fourth stimulus check, what is going on here, and what some people are saying could be good moving forward. And I want to address some school requirements that we are potentially going to see in just the coming weeks. So first off, hopefully you guys had an incredible weekend. Hopefully you guys have an incredible week as well. First off, if you are enjoying these daily uploads, could you do me a favor? Go ahead, hit that like button. Also, consider subscribing so that you never miss an update. But let's get into the news from today. Last night, and I just want to warn you guys, over the course of today, you are most likely going to see mainstream media, social media, people on YouTube saying the bill passed. The Senate passed the bill. And technically, they did have a vote and the vote passed. However, it was another procedural vote and the bill passed again. Just to give you an idea, the bill or the vote that happened last night in the Senate, that was another procedural vote. It ended debate, and now it pushes the Senate for final passage. That should happen either tonight, it should happen either later tonight or sometime tomorrow, so on Tuesday. Okay, just keep that in mind. Now, the Senate did pass this 68-29. So they did get more than their 60 votes that they needed. They only need 10 Republicans on board, and we got 18. Even Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell voted in support of this bill. So that is good news. Now, what we know is that immediately after this bill actually passes, the final passage of this bill, we're going to have a vote-a-rama, okay? So this should happen either later tonight or tomorrow. And then immediately after this, according to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, we're going to see a vote-a-rama, which could take potentially days. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But Senator Schumer, he had this to say, and I quote, "We will move forward to wrap this up as expeditiously as possible and then move on to the budget resolution. The two-track process is moving along. It's been a process that has been a very good process. It's taken a while, but it's going to be worth it." That is what he said. So just give you an idea, as soon as this bill is done, as soon as this $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill passes, the Senate will move on to the budget resolution. Again, it's the budget resolution. The budget resolution is just another bill. It pretty much opens up the can of worms for the budget reconciliation. But the budget resolution is the first step. Again, the Senate has very complicated steps and a process, but just keep this in mind. This is the way they work. Okay, so it's going to take a little while. It will most likely take about a month and a half to 2 months just to get this pushed through. So just keep that in mind as we move forward. Now, for the first time, okay, for the first time in a while, lawmakers are saying they're optimistic that this gets done. That is good news. So I believe, according to many reports just out this morning, we're going to see this is going to pass either today or tomorrow. We'll follow up with the vote-a-rama. It's just another thing that they do. Possibly, we could get around that, but chances are it's not going to happen. So over the next few days, we will have more updates on what is actually going to happen. But just keep in mind, just keep this in mind, that no matter what, no matter when or how this bill passes, it really doesn't mean a whole lot to us, because it's just going to sit over on Nancy Pelosi's desk in the Senate, because she's not going to bring, or in the House, because she's not going to bring the House of Representatives back into session until after September 20th. That is when the House of Representatives comes back to Washington. So just keep that in mind. We're pretty much just going to be sitting here twiddling our thumbs, waiting for Nancy Pelosi to bring this to the floor. And she's already stated she will not bring the bipartisan bill to the floor of the House until it comes in conjunction with the budget reconciliation bill, which is exactly what Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is going to be working on after this $1.2 trillion bill passes. So just keep that in mind. Now, here's something that I want to bring to your attention. This is something that was brought up last night from the the Washington Post, they are saying that for the first time ever, the average pay of restaurant and supermarket workers has now climbed over $15 per hour. Overall, they say that nearly 80% of all U.S. workers now earn more than $15 per hour. Let me just ask you this as well. Let me know if you'd like to. You don't have to answer this. I know it's a private matter. Let me know, do you make over $15 per hour? You can put where you work. Don't put the store or the business, but put like the state that you live in and how much you make per hour. I'd be curious to see how many people are making over $15 per hour here in the community. But according to many recruiting firms, they say that job seekers in 2021 will not even consider a job that pays less than $15 per hour to start. Previously, we have heard many employers say you will start at, let's say, $11 per hour, but within 90 days, you could be up to $15 to $16 per hour. And they use that as a tactic to try to get employees in the door. Hopefully they like the work, they're good at, they're consistent, and then they'll give them a raise. But in most cases, it's never that 15, 16, or the big boost that they promise when they recruit you. So just keep that in mind. Now, just to give you an idea, large companies like CVS, Costco, Disney, Target, Best Buy, and more are all increasing their starting pay to at least $15 per hour. So that's pretty good. That is pretty good. That's more than I think a lot of businesses really want to pay. But these big businesses understand that the more they are able to pay to keep their workers and keep them happy, the better off the workers will most likely be. So this is actually a good thing for the business. Just keep that in mind. Everyone was always saying higher wages is actually not going to be better for the business because they'll have to increase prices. Customers will not like that, but that's not the case. Many of these businesses are making more money because their employees are more efficient, they're happier, they're willing to come into work, right? They don't have to train somebody, spend all this money in training, and then the person just leaves. So they're actually more profitable even with higher wages. That's a good thing. Now, here's something else I want to bring to your attention. Right now, with the $15 minimum wage, that ask from Congress, that's what Democrats really want. That's what progressives have been pushing for. Even though they're pushing for this, companies are coming out and just providing more money to their workers. That's a good thing. But here's the bad thing. If people are getting paid more, even though we are seeing inflation, if people are getting paid more and we are seeing a recovery, a full-on recovery, not just a K-shaped recovery, a full-on recovery, what we are hearing is that economists believe if we see more businesses come out and provide $15 per hour as the new minimum wage, okay, the new minimum wage, right? It's technically a minimum wage when essentially it's not. It's just a company comes out and says, we're going to pay at least this much. So with more people making more money, now economists worry, well, there's not going to be a need for additional stimulus. But here's who this really impacts. This impacts the lowest income earners. People specifically in the South who are only making minimum wage at $7.25 per hour. The lowest income earners are the ones that are truly being impacted. Those are the ones that are going to hurt the most. So even though the middle income earners, people making $15 to $20 per hour, they're doing much better. Even though they're doing okay, the people that are going to be impacted, and this is where economists are really worried, is it's going to be the lowest income earners. So here's what we know. This is one of the reasons why many lawmakers are pushing to see the earned income tax credit increased. This is actually something that was brought up by a representative, the House of Representatives, just this past week, is let's increase the earned income tax credit up to $8,000 per year. And let's increase the amount somebody can earn to up to $90,000 per year. So big jumps. And this could be really good. And this is one of the reasons why I'm bringing this up, is because economists believe a fourth stimulus check to all these individuals just wouldn't make sense. we'd have to go and target a earned income tax credit to just those that have truly been impacted over this past year. So again, the fourth stimulus check in this instance isn't considered likely. However, an earned income tax credit, again, a disguise as a stimulus check, is being considered. So that's kind of what we know at this point regarding the minimum wage plus additional stimulus based off what economists are telling us at this time. So we'll see what happens there. Now, here's something else we're hearing. While many lawmakers are back at home with their constituents, with their family, maybe on recess, right? Or they are on recess, but maybe on vacation. Lawmakers are urging their constituents to get vaccinated and to wear a mask. They say that they are scared, or we are scared that we are going backwards, and at this time around, Congress most likely would not have the ability to get additional stimulus out. So, just kind of clarify what this means. Some lawmakers are saying that if we roll backwards, if we see possible shutdowns, Congress, this is the House and the Senate, chances are they're not going to have the support. They're not going to have the backing that they had in 2020, where every single lawmaker said, yes, let's get out stimulus checks. Let's give PPP loans. Let's do an EIDL loan. Let's do mortgage forbearance, rental assistance, nutrition assistance, all this additional stimulus. We're not going to have that. They're saying they are scared. We will not have that support. So that's something that we need to consider is if we don't have that support, we really need to be careful. Just to give you an idea of how serious this is, in Austin, Texas, the other day, there was a mass text message that was sent out to warn people of the dire situation. That is what was in the text. They used the word dire. That's not good. That doesn't mean great, okay? They also said healthcare facilities are open, but resources are limited. And just to give you an idea, there is a hospital in Austin, Texas that is saying that 57% of their ICU patients all require ventilators. I believe they have like 180 some patients in ICU, and over 100 of those patients required a ventilator just to breathe. That's not good. Now, multiple reports are saying that Delta and possibly Lambda, these are two variants, these are very serious threats, not only to our economy, but to our full-on recovery. More stimulus will most likely be needed according to experts. However, like I stated, if lawmakers are not going to be supporting this, if they're not going to be together on this, which we know they're not, then we are not going to see stimulus. So what many health experts are warning us on is let's not try to increase our numbers because more assistance may not be coming, which is true. We shouldn't try to increase our numbers. We should obviously bring them down. But as of right now, COVID cases are really increasing. Now, here's something else regarding COVID. This was a report by Axios just the other day as well. I think last night, a judge has said that the Norwegian cruise lines can require vaccine passports in Florida. So they can require vaccine passports. This is something that Florida's governor has been saying that no, he's banned vaccine passports, but now the judge says, nope, you can allow them. That we will allow vaccine passports in Florida. So this could potentially change a lot of things. This could mean some people that want to go on a cruise cannot go on a cruise because they have to provide proof. Right now, some cruise lines are saying that we are not just going to require a vaccine. We will not allow people to get a COVID test, and to obviously that is negative, but on top of that, they would have to get COVID insurance, COVID traveler's insurance. So instead, they're saying, no, just get the vaccine. That's all we care about. Get the vaccine, you can travel. So we'll see. Also, talking about more vaccine mandates, the U.S. Teachers Union has shifted their stance to back vaccine mandates. They say they want all teachers and staff to be required to get the vaccine, especially for schools who have children under the age of 12 who can't get the vaccine just yet. They say we must protect our children the most. because not protecting kids will put parents at risk again of having to leave work to educate our youth in the event that more shutdowns occur. Just to give you an idea, that there are multiple reports stating that the education department will make schools shut down. They will make them go back to online learning. They will have to stop all in-person learning, go back to online learning if COVID cases surge in schools. So just to keep you this, again, this is not something we want to see. We saw this last year and many parents struggled. They struggled because they couldn't afford to stay home and educate their children. So it's either you stay home, you educate your child, and then risk losing work, maybe even not even be able to go back, so you have no money, and maybe Congress isn't going to pass any additional stimulus, big issue. Or, this is what a lot of people did, it was your child has to stay home and they will be on online learning, and while your child is at home, that parent had to go to work. So who's watching the child? Nobody. Maybe an older sibling. But the issue there is that older sibling most likely had school themselves. So what do you think happened? People struggled. Kids are struggling. They didn't learn as much last year. Many experts say that we just had one lost year of education. That's not good. As a parent with 3 children, 2 of which are in school, okay, that do go to school, they're school-age children, 8 and 12 years old, that yes, it was a tough year. Luckily for me, I can stay home. I have the ability to do that. My wife does too. So we don't have to worry about that, but that's not the majority of America. Most people have to go to work. So that's what we know right now. It's not looking great, but hopefully today we get more good news. I will come on later on today, fill you in on some more updates. Probably going to talk about some more mask mandates because we're going to see a lot of stuff happening there. Going to address what's going to happen with more checks because we're getting some lawmakers that are asking for more checks as well. So I'll break that down in today's later on video. So again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.